And a jolly good, quiet and overcast but quite warm Sunday morning here from Olsztyn here in Poland. And today I'm going to take a walk from the centre here to one of the very many lakes that are in this area. As I mentioned on the previous video, there are over 2,000 lakes. Some are quite small and some are considerably larger. This one is a quite big one, and it's fairly close to Olsztyn. There's a number of ways of getting there from here. You could cycle, of course. There is a train from I believe the main station to another station that's I cannot remember the name of, mainly because I'm not going to be taking that route. I believe there's a bus service, and there's also appears to be some kind of tourist train bus thing, you know, those sorts of little electric things that go along. We'll find out about that later on. Anyway, I'm going to be walking. It's around about 5 kilometres, maybe more when I amble from side to side, as I frequently do. So 3 miles should take just over an hour. I'm expecting it to take me probably an hour and a half. I'm certainly not in any hurry today. And we'll go and have a look at Lake Ukiel, which looks very nice on the pictures. Seems to be plenty of things there for people to do. Water sports, there's accommodation there. Clearly there's some hotels, apartments, restaurants, cafeterias and a beach. So I'm going to take that walk. I've got no idea what the walk will be like. I'm using Google Maps today. Gave me 2 options: the quicker route, which appears to take me mostly on a freeway, and a slightly slower route which takes me mostly on a freeway but not all the way on a freeway. So we'll see how we get on. It might be okay, and I'll just film some things along the way, and obviously we'll have a look around Lake Ukiel when we get there. So it's a Sunday morning. It's still only about 9:30 in the morning. I could just hear some church bells ringing in the distance, and there was a bar near the accommodation we're staying at that didn't close until about 7:30 this morning. It doesn't actually bother me personally. They weren't that noisy, but I can imagine it might have upset 1 or 2 people. Loud talking literally all night long. And in fact, when I woke and got my coffee this morning, there was a few still sat outside with a beer in the hand, chit-chatting away. They weren't doing any harm, I don't think. Just it was quite loud and echoey, but there you go. That's the weekend here in Olsztyn. Hope you had a nice time. Anyway, let's head on. I think I'm going in the right direction at the moment. Incidentally, when I got here yesterday, I came down this way, and there were some guys with lots of spray paints out on the path chatting to each other. So in fact I can still just smell, so they must have done I think that one in the middle there was the one they did yesterday. They're either touching it up or it doesn't look like it's completely fresh, that one, but they were certainly there, and they certainly had a wide collection of spray cans. They must have had at least 30 different ones. So I'm presuming they had permission to do that, because with all that stuff they had laid out on the floor, I don't think they'd have been able to pop them in a carrier bag and leg it if someone came along. Right, here we go. I'll probably be the first one there. If everyone else was out late last night, like the guys at the bar near to the accommodation that we had, then everyone will be staying in bed a long time this morning, I guess. Right, let's go and see. I did part of a big circular walk of Olsztyn itself yesterday, part of another video that I've not actually completed yet. I ran out of a bit of energy yesterday, so I shall complete that video tomorrow. which will probably give the video two sets of vibes, because yesterday this area, in fact I walked around fairly close over the other side of the river where I'm going now, where those canoes are, where you can hire canoes, and it was absolutely packed out. It was Saturday afternoon, good vibe in this town. It's very nice indeed actually, and but when I finish the video off tomorrow it'll be a Monday morning, so it will certainly look and feel differently, I think. It's got a nice river flowing through it. I haven't put my teeth in yet this morning. There seems to be a bit of foam there, which normally indicates a bit of pollution. In fact, there's a lot of foam up there as where the weir comes down, which is not great to see. See that there? Like someone's pulled their washing up liquid in. Otherwise it looks fairly clean and healthy apart from that. So I see one or two families out and about already. Needless to say, the ones with the, oh dear, fell off his bike. Ones with the younger children. Of course, parents with the younger children tend not to be up all night drinking beer, because otherwise they have a very unpleasant next day. So they say anyway. That's quite a pleasant, just sort of inner suburb of Olsztyn, just walking through now. No sign of a freeway to wander along just yet. I think that comes in a little while. It's the church or cathedral just here. Olsztyn West railway station, just up there on the right hand side, possibly where you would get a train to the lake, so I might come back that way, or I might walk back, haven't decided yet, but the lake looks very big, looks like there's plenty of places to walk around, walking paths, cycling tracks and so on. So I intend to have a good look around that one once I get there. So probably we'll just fancy the lazy route back. Or the less energetic route anyway. And just a mere kilometre or so from the centre of Olsztyn, just probably on the edge of what is probably a kind of a ring road, and there's the first of one of the 2,000 or so lakes in this part of Poland, quite a small one. Doesn't have much around it by the looks of things. Get this feeling, this couple in front of me are probably walking to exactly the same place as me. That's that feeling in my water, the way they were looking at their Google Maps and so on. Anyway, there we go, we've gone under the railway line and just heading off to walk along the side of a dual carriageway or busy main road just for a little while. As is quite normal with Google Maps, it does tend to try and send you the quickest way along the main road, when if you just have a little bit of a look at the map just to make sure you're not going completely in the wrong direction. There's very often cycle tracks or footpaths shown on there as well, because walking along here next to this lake, which is actually a lot bigger than it looked in the first place. Just noticed it curves around over there ahead of me, and yeah, it's a much more pleasurable experience. This this town, city, there was a cycle track map I noticed yesterday, and it is quite extensive actually. It looks like a really great place to cycle around, so I'm going to try and keep to these cycle tracks as much as possible without veering too far off the route. They need a go jauntily type app here. Maybe they've got one. Maybe there is a Polish version, but unless it translates into English, I'll probably struggle somewhat with it. Go Jauntly is an app I used back in the UK for uploaded circular and point-to-point A to B routes that people have loaded on in nice places. It'll also create a route for you based on wherever you are and wherever it is you want to get to, taking you, generally speaking, via routes like we're on now, via footpaths and cycle tracks as opposed to footpaths on a busy main road. Yeah, it is quite a big lake actually. Not much in the way of facilities around this one, but then again I suppose if there's 2,000 in this area, they don't all need to have beaches and bars and hotels and things attached to them. And this one looks very natural. Okay, I'm going to have to move away from this lake. In essence, the lake I'm heading to, Lake Ukiel, is still about 3 kilometres away from here. Across land to the left of where I am now, and I notice Google Maps has rerouted me slightly and going to take me through what looks to be a residential area rather than along this busy road I'm just coming up to now, so again that's quite good. I really don't like walking next to busy main roads with buses and lorries and stuff. So I'm just going to cut across this park here. No idea if it's the right way or just going to end up having to double back on myself, but it looks like I can probably get through over there to roughly where I want to be heading, which is kind of over there. Google Maps tends to say it takes you along the roads wherever possible, and I'm not in any hurry. Getting there the quickest is not my priority today. It's a very warm day yesterday. It's quite a bit cooler, although it is still only about 10 o'clock in the morning. Sun's out now, and the forecast is for some thunderstorms later on. So armed with my lightweight waterproof jacket, we should be all good. Another of the lakes over there. Yeah, it keeps wanting me to go back onto the road over there, but this park seems to run around the edge of that lake there and then curve round and ultimately reach where I want to go to anyway, so I can probably get there by staying away from the footpath up there. It's much nicer. Just looking on the map itself, Lake Ukiel is very, very, very large indeed, and just over the other side of the railway tracks there, that is it. Now the map's taking me to the main entrance, if you like, the main bit where all the hotels and cafes and things like that are. So what I'm going to try and do is firstly see if there's a way around that railway line, underneath it or over a bridge or something, and get to the lakeside somewhere around here, and get through to the other side, over the other side of the railway line, and then follow the lake round. Let's give that a try. I thought through the trees I could see some sort of a little tunnel underneath the railway line from over there, but it looks like I've been scuppered. However, Google Maps has kind of rerouted me to go over in this direction, so I'm hoping there's one just down here somewhere, or some kind of crossing at least. So sometimes you do need to use your intuition a little bit with these things, and then hope that the tech will come to your rescue. So hopefully there's a way over the railway or under the railway line just up here. It's looking quite promising now. I've headed off in this direction. Well, I've rather doubled back on myself, heading back towards Olsztyn, but I think being on the other side of the railway line is going to be a lot more preferable to walking along the main road back there, even if this does turn out to be a lot longer. I don't care. Go, and I can see a tunnel underneath the railway line. Very useful. Looks quite new actually, so maybe it's not made it to Google Land yet. Well, once I get through here, I will come to a lake, and that is Lake Ukiel. It's not the destination that I was originally routed to. As I say, I think that was probably the main entrance or the main car park area, that kind of thing, and the main centre of attractions. So given that there's cycle and walking routes all the way around it, I'm going to walk to there from here instead of the other way around, so that's worked out quite nicely. And there we go, yeah. So I'm just going to take a moment in a minute just to decide. It's a massive lake, so I don't think walking right the way around it is going to be an option today. I don't think I've probably really got the time for all of that. Now, I would say over there is where I was probably headed originally. Here looks just as good as any other place to start a walk and a look around Lake Ukiel. Now, I've got the feeling there's probably going to be pleasure craft that you can get on at some point, so I'm going to go clockwise, see how far I get. As I say, it's a very big lake. You can see all the way over there, but it's not just that. There's lots of little side parts to it and inlets and so on. I don't know the actual distance if you were to walk all the way around it, but it'd be quite a lot. But I'm going to set off anyway and see how I do. The sign there was telling me it's now 20 Celsius. There is quite a cool breeze, which is nice, particularly if you're walking. And there's a sign, which is also translated into English. And it's saying we've got some gym and squash courts, beach ball hall, canoe centre, cafe, restaurant, guarded bathing area, playgrounds, sports fields, sports water sports equipment rentals. Excellent, what a great place. It's, as I say, it's still it's not 11 o'clock yet, but it's just starting to kick off. A few people here are having their breakfast, and There's some facilities here which is quite useful. And a beach. Fantastic. I imagine this was very busy yesterday because it really was a warm sunny day. So as you can see, it's not so much at the moment, but it's certainly nice enough to sit outside. It's definitely not cold. There you go, full English breakfast. 36, it looks like that's going to be 36 zloty. What is what, £7? It's not too bad. How English it'll actually be is another thing. I actually prefer the Polish one where you get the kielbasa with it and just slightly more flavoursome really. Plus they'll do their own breakfasts better than they do with someone else's. And what else? We've got a fish restaurant here. A little bit early for that yet, I guess, but I'm sure that'll be quite busy later on. What's that? Balancing on one leg. I do like these random signs that suddenly appear in different places. So the Central Park in Olsztyn is 4 kilometres away, and Ibiza is 2,943 kilometres away, and the Copacabana beach in Rio de Janeiro, which I'm sure is very similar to this, is 9,779 kilometres away. Yeah, I mean, if you can't make it to Copacabana Beach in Rio, then I guess this is a reasonable alternative. It's a bit early for the ice creams and waffles and so on as well. I'm sure this will be doing a roaring trade later on. Plenty of places to hire equipment along here. Pedals, little go-karts for the kids, bikes. Canoes. Couldn't quite understand the sign, but it looks like there's a kind of a ferry service from here. Which I might take up later on if I fancy going over to the other side. A lot of it's not really started operating yet. What is a little bit off-putting is the amount of foam that's washing up on the side, which indicates a certain amount of pollution or contaminants in the water. Certainly no signs suggesting you shouldn't go in, and plenty of people are jumping in. But yeah. Just away from the main beach, an area where families and children are gathering. A little bit of a quieter part now. Some nice looking apartments just here on the side with a great view across the lake. Lovely, staying in one of those. Beautiful. And a table on the boat ramp there for sitting around in the evening. Maybe even getting nibbled by the odd mosquito or insect. Belongs to the Villa Vella. Wow, Villa Vella looks very nice actually. Just had a quick Google while I'm stood here. and it is available on booking.com. And needless to say, at the moment it's completely booked out until September was the earliest dates. Of course, that's booking.com. You might find if you contact the accommodation direct, they've still got availability, but booking.com in September, which is really at the end of, if not the season has more or less ended, around about £75 a night for a villa with a sea view, as they put it, lake view obviously, but yeah, that's a very reasonable price. I imagine if there was availability this week, it would be a little bit more expensive from that, as we're in the height of the season at the moment. But certainly a nice looking place, that. And if you have got one with a quote-unquote sea view, then that would be certainly lovely, sitting out there on those balconies looking across there. But yeah, seems to be quite a lot of accommodation around the edge of the lake. Sometimes you can't book them through the main booking companies such as booking.com and hotels.com, etc. They're very often ones where you have to go on their website direct, and some have translations into English and other languages and some don't, so normally, of course, you don't walk around and spot an accommodation and then decide to book it. You'd have done it way in advance by looking online, or recommendations from friends, of course, and you would have booked that way in advance if you wanted to come here. Yeah, got away from the busy bit now. It's quite nice. Just going to follow this path, see how far it takes me, and I love just going on random walks to places I've never been to before. You've got absolutely no idea what's going to be around the next corner. So I moved away from the more populated parts around the lake now to this less cultivated track through the woods. As I say, there's lots of inlets around this lake, so that inlets obviously have a land peninsula version, so it's very curly and curvy. It's not just a circular or rectangular lake. It's very windy, and I'm just walking across one of those kind of peninsulas, so I've got water behind me. Water will be ahead of me once I get far enough along here, and indeed there'll be water to the right of me as well, a little bit in the distance there. So just kind of following the footpath that's shown on the map that cuts across the peninsula and back out to another little inlet just over here. This all forms part of Lake Ukiel. I'm just going to follow this track round, and which should follow all the way round over to the other side there, and then continue on around right the way over there. I can just see the water through the trees. Probably hasn't come out on the camera. This is a lovely walk. This is absolutely ideal for a Sunday morning, which is exactly what it is, so perfect. Brought a few snacks with me along the way and a drink, which is always a good idea, particularly when you don't know what's going to be where you're going to and how far you're going to walk. And if you're just operating slightly randomly, it's always best to have a few provisions with you just in case. If I come to another one of those beach areas with cafes and so on, I shall probably take advantage of that rather than eating my slightly warmed up sandwiches. I do have the feeling once I get all the way round to a point on the Google Maps at least, that just when it's been tagged in there, when you just click on it, it just says swimming lake. I'm hoping there's a way of getting across the lake there. It's very, very close to the other side. Maybe there's a little boat that runs across or something. Otherwise, I have a feeling I'm probably going to have to backtrack because, as I said before, this lake is very, very large. And it's probably not doable to walk around it in a whole day. But we'll give it a go. We'll see what happens. See where I get to. It was as if by magic I just came out of the trees there and found this little access point to the lake where you could get here by car, and presumably water skiing goes on here. There's water skiing jump ramps just there. Oh no, it's a zip wire there as well. Ah, yeah, that's right, where you get pulled along. Guy looks like he's getting ready to go. I'm going to hang around here a minute and see what this guy's up to. Well, he's in position. Guy's got the controller in his hand. There we go. Starting to move. Unfortunately, I didn't bring my swimming trunks with me, so I can't have a go at this. There he goes, tension. He's on, he's on, he's on, he's going. There you go. Oh, well, that's not too bad. That's probably about 10. That's probably 10 meters further than I would have got. Right, that's enough eating a sandwich, watching someone learn to wakeboard. They did get the hang of it in the end and got quite good. So well done to them. So I wonder how warm that water is, you know. Lakes are not, well, it depends, doesn't it? It depends if they're fed by chilly mountain streams or warm springs or whatever, but it doesn't look particularly cold. Doesn't feel cold, you know, like a cold breeze blowing off it or anything like that. Probably quite pleasant actually in the middle of summer. Well, it's certainly got something for everybody here, from wakeboarding to boating, canoeing, nice quiet walks through the woods and around the edge of the lake, and sort of plenty of places like this just cropping up now where you've got cafes and bar, ice cream sellers, that sort of stuff. This is not really woken up yet just here though. It's a great view of Olsztyn in the distance there as well, which just goes to show the distance I've walked. When you look on the map, I've probably gone a quarter of the way around the lake, probably even less than that. It's hard to tell with all the little inlets and so on. So the complete circumnavigation by foot is probably not really an option. Unless you set off very early in the morning. But cycling round I'd have thought would be. Yeah, I'm going to carry on and go as far as I can and then just see what the options are to get back into Olsztyn later on this afternoon in the form of maybe public transport. We shall see. Still a bit undecided with all of that just as it stands at the moment. just coming up to noon, according to that. 11:59 and 26 seconds. Very precise. Well, I walked here with more hope than expectation. I just noticed this very close, this bit of the lake that's very close to the other side, as you can see there. I was hoping there might be some sort of little bridge or way of getting across. Suppose I could ask these guys for a lift. Not quite know where I would land over there though, saying that. But yeah, it just showed a very close point on the map. I was hoping to get right the way over there to kind of do a part circle of the lake, but it looks like that's not to be. I have a feeling that might be too deep just over on there once you get to where those little boys are. B-U-O-Y type of boys. Oh well, right, so that's right over there is where I was earlier on, I think. And the wakeboarding was over there, down one of the inlets, right over there somewhere. So I'm going to have to check my map and see whether it's worthwhile carrying on in that direction, getting out from here, or head back the way I came. Hopefully there's something up that way, and then I can at least be a one-way journey. Very pleasant little place just to sit and I'll spend a few minutes here actually, just have a drink and watch the boats going by. Right, well the sun's back out. I've had a little rest and a little think and decide what to do, and I really do not like backtracking over old ground. I prefer to carry on in a circle or go from A to B and then get public transport back. So I'm going to take a bit of a chance here. There's a place I've just spotted on the map at the other end of the lake, so probably this will mean let's start again. This will probably mean I will have walked one full length of the lake. It's well over another hour from here, and it looks like a small village or little town or something. I'm going to walk to it from here along the side of the lake and then figure out how I get back to Olsztyn from there, but probably not walking back. So I'm hoping I find something like some buses or whatever. Anyway, let's go. Let's see what happens. I've got about another 8 hours until it goes dark, so I should be okay. And it's a nice day, and it's a lovely walk out here as well. Funnily enough, Google Maps doesn't really provide much information about public transport. It shows some trains, but you have to walk quite a long way from here to get to a train. It's almost not worth it. It's almost, might as well just walk back. So yeah, we'll get to this place and see what the options are from there. They did mention this little tourist bus thing from Olsztyn, but where it goes to on the lake, I didn't really investigate properly. Still, away we go. I'll add some more as we go. Any interesting things I happen to see along the way. Really should have got myself some insect repellent, because I'm getting nibbled at again. Oh dear. I bought some very nice gel to put on the bites, but it'd have been rather handy to not have got the bites in the first place. Yeah, back out in the open air a bit now, so it probably won't be so bad, but I'm walking rather quickly because that tends to stop them a little bit. Right, probably about 20 minutes away from my destination, which has been randomly picked out from Google Maps, and I think it's pronounced Whoopsich or something similar to that. Anyway, I have noticed on Google Maps a little sign for bus stops, so that's quite hopeful. When I get there I shall have a little look, see if indeed there are bus stops, and if there are going to be buses pointing in the direction I want to go. But yes, it's been a fabulous walk, and it's slightly away from the edge of the lake at the moment. You see it through the trees there, looking very nice. And I've the defined cycle path and walkway seems to have just disappeared temporarily. That looks like this might be a ongoing project around the edge of the lake. This bit's not been completed yet. We're just heading up towards, anyway, getting in towards this small village or town, and have a little look around there, see what's what, and then head back towards Olsztyn. Well, it's been lovely. The lake's great. There's some nice parts to sit around, get something to eat and drink, and just relax and have a nice day. Although I could have done without being lunch for all the mosquitoes that there were when you went through the woods. It's okay up here, but caught a few on my leg. I'll be dabbing the mosquito gel on later on. Well, we've arrived here, just on the edge of it now. A lot of barky dogs down there. I hope they're on the other side of the fences. And first port of call, I'll just check out the bus stops. Certainly a lovely spot just here. This is like the just trying to think on the map about the far west of the lake. I joined it to the most easterly point just about, so yeah, I've walked along the southern shore, so to speak, and I've ended up here, as always, rather randomly. This was not my intention to finish up here, but here we are. And like all good adventures, there's probably plenty more to come. I don't know what's down here, but as I say, first port of call, we're just going to check these bus stops out and see if there is even a bus service on a Sunday. Oh, Whoopstitch. It's where we are, and the 107 bus. Looking at that timetable over there, doesn't look very comprehensive from this distance. There's a toilet here. I shall be availing myself. They're usually pretty grim, those things. Okay. So there is a service on a Sunday, and to roughly, well, the centre of the town. It leaves at 15:27. So I'm going to, I don't know, I've got 2 hours to kill. I think I'll probably try that. Give it some thought. Got plenty of time to think about it. Do you know what? I'm not going to wait for the bus because it's 2 hours. I don't really know what's here. Doesn't look like there's an awful lot. So I'm going to walk back. According to Google Maps, if I take the most direct route, not winding by the lake. So I'm going to take a different route. I'm going to take a road route back. It should take me 1 hour and 43 minutes. So that's around about 6 miles, I think, 5 miles, 8 kilometres. Yeah, let's do it. Because if this bus doesn't turn up in 2 hours' time, then I'm stuck with the same. So either that will get a taxi back, and I don't do that unless I absolutely have to. Right, Olsztyn via a different route. Here we go. This is obviously not via the lake, so I'll come back to anything interesting. Happens to come in front of me along the way. That's where we just came from, down there. I don't really fancy going back that way. So I was getting a bit fed up of being eaten by mosquitoes, so I'll go this way. Hopefully I'll be completely free of them. So I'll be anemic. Yeah, well, let's just say walking back through along the lake and through the woods probably would have been a whole heap nicer than this, if I was going to get bitten and eaten alive again. But ho-hum, about 45 minutes away from base camp now, just on the outskirts of Olsztyn, so there's nothing much to see here. That's it really. I'll be walking down this path, stroke highway, stroke whatever, for the next 45 minutes through the town and back for a good sit down and something to eat. Hope you enjoyed the video. The lake was certainly well worthy of a visit, and I guess if I come on a weekday, a bus back again would have been a bit more of a viable option. Who knows, you never know with these things. It's always good fun just to venture on out and see where you end up, and sometimes you end up wandering along the freeway like this, but there you go. If you enjoyed it, click the like button and all that sort of stuff, you know the score, and I'll catch you again with another one soon. Cheers for now, bye.